What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I just want to kind of go over the Miami Dolphins depth chart right now. We've made a lot of different changes throughout free agency, and now we have Teron Armstead, our new left tackle. I just kind of want to go over things a little bit and kind of address some of my thoughts on what we can do moving forward. So one thing I'm very excited about is I do think that we have gotten better throughout this offseason already. I said early on, before the free agency started, that throughout this offseason I wanted at least 3 new starting caliber offensive linemen, because I think it is unreasonable to expect a complete overhaul. But I wanted at least 2 starting caliber offensive linemen through free agency and at least 1 in the draft. I would like 2. So far they've upholded what I wanted, which is great. We got a tackle and a guard in Connor Williams and Teron Armstead, who are very, very solid players. And I think Robert Hunt can live at right guard fine, at least for now. The 2 positions I really want to address is center and right tackle. I honestly would really like to sign at least a low-level center. As you can see, we don't even have a backup for Michael Dieter. But I would also just like somebody, even if it's just on a 1-year deal, who's just a little bit better than Michael Dieter, just in case we can't draft a quality one. Because so far, I'm not done evaluating players for the draft, but I haven't found a whole lot of centers I like. I love Tyler Linderbaum, but I don't know if he's going to be there at 29. I highly doubt it. So I would like to pick up a guy. Now at right tackle, I think we do also have some options. There are a lot of starting caliber guards in this class, and I think we can definitely get one of those. But obviously we already have Connor Williams there, and as I said, I think Robert Hunt, you can kind of live with that. But what I think we can do is I think either Robert Hunt could go back to right tackle, which is what he played in his rookie year, which isn't really what I want. I think he is a better guard. Alternatively, I think Connor Williams would actually be a good right tackle. He played tackle in college, and if you look at his traits, I actually think he'd be a better tackle than a guard. If you think about Connor Williams, his best features are his feet and athleticism and his ability to move. And he's not necessarily the strongest offensive lineman in the world. Like, dealing with 330-pound men isn't necessarily his strength. I think him actually playing tackle would probably make him a better player. I don't know if we'll do that. I'm just saying. But that is something we can kind of play around with. If we can't get a tackle, we might be able to get a guard and move either Connor or Robert to right tackle if need be. But we have nothing for center. So I'd like to address that. Obviously, the quarterback situation I think is better. I think Teddy is an upgrade at backup quarterback over Jacoby Brissett for sure. Running back is definitely an upgrade. We've gotten back Myles Gaskin and Ahmed, so that's good. They're most likely just going to be depth guys, but at least we do have them for cheap. And we've also signed Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, which I think is going to be a nice little 1-2 punch. I assume we'll probably draft somebody as well. Receiver, I feel like we've probably improved. Waddle and Parker being our number 1 and 2, and I think that Cedric Wilson is definitely an upgrade over Albert Wilson for sure, even though Albert Wilson is still a pretty good player. We got Preston Williams back, which I really don't care about. Allen Hurns, I don't want him here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not want Allen Hurns at all. I think Lynn Bowden coming back as well. I'm very interested to see what we can do with him just because of the type of scheme that Mike McDaniel is probably going to employ. I think someone like a Lynn Bowden who can play running back and receiver. I think he might even be able to be like a poor man's Deebo Samuel. So I'm curious to see what we can kind of get started with him. I think Jalen Waddle can also do some things with that. So yeah, I'm very, very interested, and Cedric Wilson is a really, really solid slot receiver. So I think our receiving core and our running back room has definitely improved, and so has our offensive line. The defense is still relatively the same. Nothing really changing here. pretty much all the same starters that we've seen. Why does it have Brennan Scarlett as an inside linebacker? He's not. He's an edge rusher. Weird. I wonder if Mike McDaniel or anybody has said anything about him changing positions. Because if so, I haven't seen it. But other than that, we got Sheldrick Redwine back. No real changes here. I would really like to get a guard. I mean, not a guard, but an inside linebacker at some point. Landon Roberts is okay, but I'd like an upgrade over that. And I really want someone who does their job well and his mental processing is really great, because that's where Landon and Jerome kind of fall off. They're more the athletic players. But I really want somebody in our inside linebacker room that just really has a good football IQ. We also don't currently have a punter on the roster, so that's a thing. That's definitely something we need to address, because we currently don't even have a punter to line up with. So we will have to address that at some point. I also think that we could get an upgrade at edge. Andrew Van Ginkel is fine, but I think we can definitely upgrade that position. But I'm not trying to do that in free agency. I kind of want to do that in the draft, even if it's a more development player. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Alec Ingold is interesting. We didn't really use a whole lot of fullback action last year. I think that's definitely going to be a focus moving forward. We now have one of the most expensive fullbacks in the league, so we better use him. So I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what we do. This offense is definitely improved. I think everything has been very smart and strategic. We spent some decent money on Armstead and Connor Williams because that's what was warranted. But I think a lot of the and Cedric Wilson's making a decent chunk of change too, but nothing too crazy. But Chase Edmonds and Raheem Mostert, I think those are very team-friendly contracts, and I think all the moves we've made have been pretty smart. So, some of the re-signings, not a huge fan of. I didn't really like re-signing Preston Williams. I mean, it adds a little bit of depth, but I wanted Mac Hollins if we were going to do that. I think he's just a better version of Preston Williams, big-bodied guy, but is a better blocker, can catch more consistently, and isn't as injury-prone, and can play special teams. Preston is just a contested catch guy who has focus drops. So, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of address the roster real quick. I'm sure we'll probably have some more signings, and I'll address those when they come. But I don't really expect any big stuff from here. Probably just some depth and probably some training camp bodies that we'll probably end up picking up. I don't expect anything too crazy from here, at least not until the draft. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you'd like to, appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.